It's time to get punk with Drower. This week, OpenAI's O1 bird brain, Klarna's build over buy, Aleph Alpha's big surrender, TD versus Shopify, and LinkedIn suckers, I mean investors. OpenAI's new O1 model. It's progress, sure, like getting promoted from utterly useless to marginally incompetent. Yay. OpenAI has been bragging about this new model's enhanced reasoning capabilities. And you know what? It's true. If your bar for reasoning is a mediocre student at a 7th tier university, I see you, Kingston University. I tested this sucker myself. I fed it a complex task, and here's what happened. I asked it to solve a statistical problem about Puckdoku, an ice hockey trivia game with a surprising level of mathematical complexity. Not only did it miss an important concept, Burnside's lemma if you're interested, and thus give a completely wrong answer, it then gave me the most basic formula to calculate a delta, the equivalent of 2 minus 1 equals 1, and it did all of this very confidently. Look, you probably don't care about all the math jargon, but that's not the point. What matters is this. O1 is like a McKinsey consultant. Always confident, sometimes right. But worse than that, while I was thinking, I think it may have accidentally shared someone else's data with me. Take a look at this mess it spewed out while thinking. First, covering all pairs. Cool, makes combinatorial sense. Then revisiting strategies, then mapping team dynamics, all good. Then feeding strategies. I'm piecing together a plan to maximize bird visits by suggesting a mix of bird seed types. Yeah, that's not reasoning. That's data leakage. That's a lack of security. That's, as we say in the business, about as solid as a soup sandwich. It's like if your accountant just started reading your neighbor's bank statement out loud. Here's what you need to know. Don't be sharing anything sensitive with O1 anytime soon. Look, it's not just me that thinks O1 might be a fun party trick, but not an overlord just yet. Terrence Tao, also known as probably the smartest nerd in the world, described it as on par with trying to advise a mediocre but not completely incompetent graduate student. So again, OpenAI's O1 is like a McKinsey consultant. Mediocre, not completely incompetent, and very convincing. Klarna's build not buy plan and my first marriage. 2 completely foreseeable disasters. Klarna's decided to ditch SaaS providers like Salesforce and Workday to build its own AI tools, and in doing so, they've officially jumped into the deep end without floaties. We'll save money, they say. We'll own our own destiny, they claim. It's all very inspiring until you realize it's going to end in unmitigated fucking disaster. Trust me. Building your own systems sounds smart, right? Wrong. It's like building a house. Sure, the materials might cost less if you do it yourself, but wait until you see the final product. Crooked walls, leaks everywhere, and a foundation about as solid as your idiot friend's plan to get rich day trading crypto. Stu. The real costs come when you try to maintain the damn thing. The end users don't give a fuck who builds it. They'll want constant updates, endless bug fixing, and the feature requests will come fast and furious. But the teams who build it will move on, and the products will sit there to go fallow. Trust me, I've seen this happen many times before. For example, a huge global marketplace that was a customer of mine. They built their own email marketing system in-house, and guess what? It was garbage. It was inflexible, users hated it, and the company would never invest in improving it. The end result, a disgruntled team, an ineffective system, and leaving money on the table because sometimes it plain just didn't work. It all sounds good in principle when it's pitched, usually by an empire building CTO. But when they fuck off, which they will and should, then you're left with a derelict system and will probably just spend millions bringing Salesforce back in. Anyone who thinks big corporations are going to use AI to build their own apps has clearly never been inside a big corporation. These are the same places where it takes 6 months to approve rounded corners on your buy now box. Yeah, sure, they're totally going to build custom AI apps right after they figure out how to schedule a Zoom call without accidentally booking a conference room in Uzbekistan. Klarna is building a monument to hubris on a foundation of technical debt and capex, and we all have front row seats to its unveiling. Grab your popcorn. This is one car crash you don't want to miss. Aleph Alpha, they went from Europe's AI savior to Europe's AI janitor. They just took a sharp left turn, and if you squint hard enough, you can see them waving a white flag. Germany's AI champion has decided to step back from building its own large language model. Instead, they're now peddling AI operational software. Translation: we've stopped pretending we can compete with OpenAI and Anthropic, so here's a fancy tool that lets you plug their shit into your crap. Their CEO said, just having a European LLM is not sufficient as a business model. No shit. It's not enough because it's a race to the bottom that only super rich players can afford to run. Aleph Alpha saw that the price of entry wasn't worth the reward, so they're pivoting, not to brilliance, but to every young child's dream. Enterprise B2B SaaS, because who doesn't dream of selling workflow automation tools? It's like a Michelin star chef giving up on fine dining to start a food truck. Sure, you put on a brave face and you tell people you like being your own boss and doing it your own way, but at night, when you're alone with your thoughts, you cry into your artisanal street tacos. Let's not sugarcoat it. This isn't some enlightened strategy. It's a scramble to avoid irrelevance. And you know what? Fair play. Better to be a janitor than in the toilet. But Europe's great AI hope, that dream is flushed. TD Bank is launching an e-commerce platform because when I think innovation, I think a risk-averse financial institution. Yeah, that's the one. TD Bank is trying to go toe-to-toe with Shopify. It's like showing up to a Formula One race in a used Dodge Caravan. They're confident in their store-building tools, they say, which is adorable. But hey, let's give them some credit. They're trying to diversify, and who can blame them? Banks got a bank, and in 2024, banking means dabbling in every tech trend that pops up. But the harsh truth is, they're out of their depth here. Building an e-commerce platform that rivals Shopify isn't a nice to have. It's an all-consuming beast. Upkeep, the competition, the customer support, it's like adopting a baby elephant. Cute at first, until it starts trampling everything you care about. This will be fun to watch though. TD, the bank that can't even do domestic wire transfers in 2024, is going to take down Shopify. Yeah, you go on, TD. If you believe in yourself, you can do anything. Spoiler alert, you can't, but thanks for coming out. It's adorable. If listing investor on your LinkedIn profile makes you look savvy, then my fantasy football team makes me Sir Alex Ferguson. Let's talk about the LinkedIn Investor Flex, specifically the ones who throw down cash in a private company angel round and think it makes them look like some kind of tech savant. Hate to break it to you, but it doesn't make you a wizard. It makes you a gambler who just bought a lottery ticket for a game where 99% of the players lose. This isn't a badge of honor, it's financial illiteracy masquerading as status. It's like calling yourself an art collector because you bought a poster at IKEA. And the best part, most of these investments will go to zero. Nothing says business genius quite like backing a startup that crashes and burns faster than my libido at a vegan rollerblading party. It's not about being savvy. It's about social signaling. Look at me, I'm in the know, rubbing elbows with the right people. Except you're not. You're just an NPC in a game that's rigged against you, but you're not smart enough to see it. Next time you want to list investor on your LinkedIn, instead, try serial sucker. Then we'll know you've got at least a shred of self-awareness. Thanks for getting punk with Drower with me. Feel free to like and subscribe. Or don't. I'm not your boss. See you next week. And remember, if it looks like progress and sounds like progress, it's probably just really expensive bullshit.
Welcome to the Drower Disillusionment.